Okay, we are now live. Hopefully this is more effective than the last time. So people are tuning in. So we are E3 Postmorteming now.
Hopefully.
Round two, yeah.
Without losing.
For anybody who tuned in earlier, sorry for that. I guess my LTE kind of crapped out. Hello, people are saying hi, so it seems to be effective so far.
Okay.
So this is Kirk Hamilton. You are looking at the Kirk Hamilton. No, I'm Verizon. People are asking what my service is. Good to go this time. Cool. So yes, Kotaku's Kirk Hamilton, features editor. Kotaku's Sith Lord, Jason Schreier, aka news editor.
Hello.
And Kotaku's Tina Amini managed to put this around. Hello. It was because of the Dark Lord, somebody said. So that's obviously you.
Emanating dark energy.
All hail Sith Lord.
Force lag.
Yeah, force lag. Okay, so last we dropped out, we were talking about the fact that E3 is now over. Jason's a little tired. Kirk, how are you holding up?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired too.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
How's the audio? Should we talk louder? Let's talk a little louder, just in case.
Okay.
Not obnoxiously loud, but yeah.
It's a really good E3.
Yes,
Really
that's
good
what you're
E3
saying.
all around.
So,
Good press conferences, good announcements, good demos, lots of cool games on the show.
somebody wants to start with talking about what wasn't at E3.
What wasn't at E3? Well, what do you?
Well, you were expecting some stuff, Jason.
Do they mean what wasn't at what wasn't hands-on on the show floor, but was at the press conference, or wasn't announced
What wasn't
anyway?
announced?
Yeah, what wasn't announced.
Amy
that you were
heading Star Wars,
expecting.
wasn't that one thing?
Yeah.
We weren't really expecting that, but that was
What? I don't know. Was there something specific you had in mind, Tina?
No, but he said what wasn't announced. I'm gonna sit over here.
I was expecting a couple other things from Ubisoft, like another Far Cry game or something like that. What else was I expecting?
Okay, how about what was announced that we didn't get to? Somebody says, where was Zelda Wii U? Zelda Wii U was...
Yeah, we knew that wasn't coming.
Yeah, they said
we knew Zelda Wii U wasn't coming because they'd said before when they delayed it to when they delayed it out of 2015, they also said it won't be at E3 this year. So please look forward to it in the future.
Yeah.
Please look forward.
Please look forward.
The thing about that game is that, like, I imagine they don't want it. Nintendo is very big on only showing games that are actually coming out in the near future. At least they were this time around. So no more like, here's Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem that you won't see again for another 3 years. That sort of thing. They didn't want to do this year. A lot of the companies, other than Sony was the only one that was really like, we're going to show you all sorts of shit that isn't coming out for 4 years. Like the Final Fantasy VII remake and like Shenmue 3. But other companies were more restrained and more like, we're going to show you stuff that's coming out in the near future, which was good to see. Like a lot of the Nintendo games that I thought were really cool were like Zelda, Triforce Heroes for 3DS, and like Paper Mario, and that stuff is all coming out within the next year. Also, Bethesda was really good about only showing stuff that they have scheduled for the next year. Fallout, Dishonored, Doom. So that was good to see. Really good to see.
Square Enix also had stuff that was coming out this year. I saw the new Hitman. I didn't get to play it, but it looks really promising. I'm gonna write something up for Kotaku about it, but it's very like Hitman fans are gonna be. They're saying all the right things anyway, but I didn't get to play it. But that's coming out in, I think they said December of this year.
Yeah.
And then Tomb Raider is also coming out.
Legends.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I just played that yesterday. It's really cool because, so I was the DM. The setup is that it's like 4 party members, 4 dungeon crawlers, and then a DM who can control the dungeon and like manipulate things even as the adventurers are going through. So what I did in the demo was I just tried to destroy them in every possible way. So like I would put traps in front of them, I would make random enemies spawn behind them, I would put these spider eggs everywhere in the dungeon, so whenever you walk up to them they hatch into spiders and start attacking you.
I'm so happy about this right now.
I set up a tent in one room. I set up like a tent looking thing, and then I put a super hard enemy inside the tent that you wouldn't see when you walked in. So like you walk in and then suddenly this dude comes out of the tent and destroys the whole party. It's a lot of fun. I'm a sadistic
clearly.
dungeon master.
You can tell by the ear-to-ear grin on your face right now.
A cool game though. Really cool game.
So neither of you played HoloLens, right?
No.
Yeah, Stephen played HoloLens for Halo 5. He was really into it, but I heard mixed things.
I heard the
from other
Minecraft
people.
demo was cooler than the Halo demo.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Minecraft is the one. Well, it seems very early. That's the thing. That's like, unlike the games, all this tech with like HoloLens and VR stuff, it all feels like it's very half-baked right now. It feels like it still needs a lot of time in the oven.
Feels like we're in experimentation mode, which is cool.
So.
That's a very cool phase to be in,
Yeah.
figuring that out.
Yeah.
So somebody said, many say Sony won E3, but most of the games won't be released until a couple of years. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think, I mean, first of all, the concept of someone winning E3 is kind of silly.
Yeah.
It's a funky premise to begin with.
Because the premise is always
one that we play with.
We do. It's true. We have it both ways, I think.
Yeah.
We're still working on
we
that.
talk about winners and losers as in, like, here's who did well today and here's who didn't. But the idea of all the publishers have to compete against one another during the press conferences to see who wins, that is what's silly to me. I mean, you can be like, there's pros and cons every single day in E3, but the idea of one company winning it all seems silly. But people are saying Sony won E3. I think to that commenter's point is totally true, because Sony won as far as hype, but then after the press conference, after it's like, oh, holy shit moments are over, it's like, oh, this stuff isn't actually going to happen anytime soon. It's like at the end of the day, The Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy 7, that was vaporware that was announced 6 years ago. It was a Kickstarter that might come out in 2017 if we're lucky, and a remake of a game that also might come out in like the next 5 years if we're really lucky.
So someone else wanted to know about the Xbox Elite controller. Did you guys play with that? I did.
No, what do you think?
It was pretty cool. I was kind of into it actually, just because everything is made with steel and it pops on and off really easily. So I like that it's moddable in that sense and seems really easy. And so they didn't really have like any games that you can play with the controller yet. They just had like a demo. So there was one section where you had to lift up a human without, as an alien, you had to lift him up and abduct him without waking him, which is kind of actually hilarious because inevitably, because of the sensitivity of the controller, you're like slamming him on the ceiling and slamming him on the wall and the windows, but he's still asleep somehow. So yeah, but it was just basically like a testing grounds, like a tutorial for the...
Yeah, we heard a friend of ours was talking to us about the controller and made the, I think, valid point that it was kind of weird that they demoed it with custom demo software instead of just letting people play games they already know how to play, so they could actually get a feel for the controller.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's more like a tutorial, like demo tutorials.
It's a weird choice. I would rather just like play Halo with it or play Gears with it or something.
So I had a Halo 5 appointment and I asked those dudes, because they had a bunch of controllers in the back, so I said, oh, do you have any Elite controllers? Are you planning on doing any demos with that? And he said that they have a programming, like, part of their team, of the Halo team, and so he mentioned that they like were part of the testing process and that those guys were playing around and giving them some feedback about it, but I don't think anybody's in a position yet where they're actually incorporating those things into their games.
Do you want me to hold the phone while you're talking so I can point it at you?
That's okay. I was thinking about that too, but people are talking about Project Titan now, so about how it's confirmed dead because that's like people wanted it to be at E3, I guess.
Wait, Project Titan?
Just Titan from Blizzard. They're calling it
Titan from Blizzard. That's been you guys know that's Overwatch.
I know a lot of them knew, but one of them was
if you're curious about Titan, you should go to Kotaku and
or give the quick rundown.
No, well, so Google.
For people who don't know.
I will. But so Google what Blizzard's Titan actually was, Kotaku.com, and you'll find my article because I did some reporting on what that was last fall.
News editor.
And so
Kotaku.com.
What happened was, from the ashes of that was canceled in 2013. And by canceled, as is Blizzard's way, it was actually turned into a smaller project called Overwatch. And Blizzard's Overwatch, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, is now like it's a colorful Team Fortress-esque shooter. That is a section of what Titan would have been. So you will never see Titan, but we will see Overwatch, which is...
So in a sense, it was at E3.
Yeah. No, Overwatch wasn't at E3.
Oh, right, yeah.
Blizzard,
that's true.
Blizzard had StarCraft. I played some StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, which is cool. It's more StarCraft.
So people want to know about Oculus and Morpheus. You guys have played both, right? Or
I've played both in the past, but I haven't used the new Oculus Rift.
You haven't what?
I haven't used the new Oculus Rift.
Yeah, apparently it's changed pretty drastically.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good.
From what I hear. Yeah.
I'm not a big VR fan.
Right. Okay, so to give a recap, somebody said it's like you were telling us Santa isn't real, to go back to Titan.
Sorry, but Blizzard said that 2 years ago. Blizzard told you 2 years ago that Santa wasn't real. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not really telling you.
Yeah, we're just conveying the message.
We're just the messengers. Okay, so to recap, E3 is over as of yesterday, as of last night, and we are Kotaku editors just talking about the show. The very good show.
Very good show.
Yeah. So in terms of that very good show, what else about it made it particularly better? I mean, it was the games.
There was something about the vibe that was nice. We were talking about this earlier, how there was kind of less of the like, E3 is always really crass, like, there's just no getting around it because it's this celebration of marketing, but for some reason this year, in a lot of ways, it felt less so. Like, it felt more inclusive and kind of more chill in some ways. It wasn't like screaming dubstep and ridiculous, like, energy drink commercial vibe on everything. Like,
there weren't even those guys handing out the NOS energy drinks outside of the convention center like
fewer murders,
fewer people holding the, like, Jesus will judge you signs.
Which means maybe they were still out there.
They were still there, yeah.
No, but like on the press conferences, you could tell that like there was less dubstep, less like people murdering people and shooting.
And also there was just it was kind of like a year that there were like something for everybody. Like there were announcements that somebody was excited about.
Well, there was a lot of like the rhetoric sort of before each press conference was sort of about how gaming is for everyone and gaming is this huge thing that everybody does, and like we really want, which is cool because, you know, E3 gets a lot of heat for being this sort of like bro fest kind of action thing, and this year more than any year really felt like, and it's partly marketing, like I think these publishers have learned that it pays to market to more people, so it's not like some laudable thing, like it's still cynical, it's still to make money, but it's still kind of refreshing, like it's cool to go and have the general vibe, just not feel so kind of, it can get really exhausting when you're here for 3 days and it's just in your face all the time.
Yeah, and that's why you guys seem a little sleepy.
Well, E3 is exhausting no matter what.
Yeah, it's always exhausting, but this year felt more restrained, more... I like the tone a lot more.
A couple more questions. One is a quick one. Will we be at PAX 2015 And we will. Actually, all three of us.
Yeah, we're going to be at PAX.
And maybe
we may do a panel.
And we'll do Periscope from there.
Yeah,
now that we're into Periscope,
we shouldn't talk about our panel idea. We'll save it as a surprise.
Well, we will. I think it's a good idea. Okay, so the other question, and this is a good one, and it kind of fits along lines of like, you know, this year's E3 experience. Somebody asked why Kanye was so popular. And so he showed up. I mean, it's just kind of interesting, and I think maybe unexpected, even though apparently Kanye is this huge nerd. Like, apparently his favorite movie is Akira.
Yeah, he's an anime nerd.
A
lot of people are just into Kanye.
Well, right. He's one of maybe the most famous people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
And it's almost, I think for a lot of people, it's also this, like, sense of legitimacy that, like, okay, even
everyone
Kanye, like...
No, E3 has always had that, I think.
Well,
we've always had celebrities, but...
Well,
Conan O'Brien last year or 2 years ago.
I'm sure he was there this year too.
People saw
I didn't see it.
I mean, it's LA, so it's like it's pretty easy for celebrities to get there.
Right.
And it always takes over the town.
We were watching E, and it was like Rosario Dawson was like playing Call of Duty. And
Zach Braff was playing Destiny.
Everyone's a gamer.
But Kanye is like on another level. Kanye is Kanye.
He's like the celebrity of celebrities.
But I mean, I don't know. Steven Totillo goes every year,
and nobody makes a fuss about that.
Yeah.
Well, some people do. People see Steven.
That's true.
He's definitely the most celebrity-like among us.
I'm sad we didn't get Steven on Periscope. Not even once.
Not even once. He was too busy, like hunched over his laptop.
So somebody wants to know what the worst trend at E3 was.
The worst trend?
Yeah. There were a lot of good trends this year.
That's a good question. We should have thought about that more.
Yeah,
I'm sure there were some that were bad.
Okay, so for now, while you guys ponder that, what was the best game you played actually hands-on with? I didn't play a ton personally. I played Mirror's Edge, Star Wars, Battlefront. I literally did not play anything else hands-on. But I've been doing a lot of the social media stuff, like these Periscopes, and also we've been doing a ton of Vines too, which is on our Twitter feed. I was
impressed by a few things, but I think it's hard to say what the best is just because you're only seeing like
your favorite, like the thing that's stuck in your mind.
I really liked Zelda. I really liked Paper Mario.
You played The Last Guardian, right? But it was like a 5-minute.
It was for like 10 seconds. It wasn't really.
I heard you like pet the dog bird and then threw barrels at the dog bird.
But it was like, it's one of those things. The way E3 works is that E3 has this thing called Judges Circle, run by Jeff Keighley, where we vote on awards after the show.
Just momentarily, yes, Evan did ride a bike to play VR.
Yeah.
Continue.
And so in order to participate in that, companies have to make their games playable in some way or another. So it's like Like
So
I
they're
see
almost
The Last
forced to
Guardian,
create,
I
like,
see
the
The Last
quickest
Guardian demo. No, well, it's a real demo, but usually they don't want anyone playing it because it's very rough, and like if you go the wrong way, things will be
So if you
destroyed
play it
or
for
whatever.
10 seconds, technically you played
Right,
it.
so
and
it's
you
like
can officially judge it.
it's like not for like coverage purposes because I can't say like, oh, I played The Last Guardian and it was amazing, or I played The Last Guardian and it was terrible, because I don't really know, but I was able to pick up the controller just to prove that it's real.
So we have 2 more games that people want to know about. One is Mass Effect Andromeda, which there's like
we didn't see anything about
I
that.
didn't even get to say my favorite game. Wait a minute. You
Oh,
asked
I'm
us
so
our
sorry.
favorite games,
Yes,
and then I
yes,
just sat
let
here.
us know, Kirk.
Jesus.
How rude of me.
Talk about a game you
Kirk,
can't
I
even
really
talk
want to
about.
know. We all, in fact, the whole room wants to know.
Well,
She brought it up.
the most fun thing that I played was Destiny PvP.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
that's
course,
true.
of course.
And I played it because we
you guys are
owned
looking
everybody.
at 2 of the most major Destiny nerds.
And we played,
They
Jason
have a
and I
raid
played on
group.
the same fire
They
team.
meet up with their raid group and have lunch, and it's very adorable.
That's true.
Jason and I played on the same team, and we wrecked everybody. And the new mode was fine, but I was trying to figure out whether I actually thought that the new mode we were playing was fun, or whether it's just that Destiny PvP is really fun, and we were finally like playing a game that we knew how
I
to
don't think
play.
the mode is that great.
No, I
There's the
don't
mode
either.
where it's called Mayhem Clash, and everybody has supercharged supers. So like your super rate goes up super fast. I keep saying the word super.
Was it a super demo?
It's
So
super
it's chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
favorite
so-
game.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
still, it was
that's
still
a
fun.
good one. Any others that you went hands-on with that you like? People were asking about Mirror's Edge. You played Mirror's Edge, so what
Yeah.
did you think? And you're sort of our Mirror's Edge
I liked it.
expert.
It's good. I think it's going to be a good game.
It was a
it's-
weird demo. Like I've been thinking that a lot of games are just seem difficult to demo.
Yeah, you have to teach
especially
people
at
how to
all
play
E3.
this.
Yeah.
Especially RPGs. But I played a lot of the
Of course.
RPGs. So I played like Trails of Cold Steel from Exceed. I played Legend of Legacy from Atlas. Those are like games that I got to sit down and play for a little while, but it's impossible to tell if they're
Right.
like gonna be really good because
Yeah,
I
like can you
haven't-
imagine playing Civ on the show floor?
No,
Like, you
it's
need like
ridiculous.
2 hours.
Yeah, it's very
You
silly.
can't do, even if you get like 30 minutes with it, it's not quite the same for some of these.
Yeah.
So Mirror's Edge, you had the 3 missions. Kirk, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it was really short. I mean, I think the controls are similar to the original. It felt similar to the original. I still died a lot from jumping off of buildings, which is
Yeah.
good because you do that.
Well,
But
occasionally I wouldn't notice that there wasn't like there was a huge gap, and I would
something
just
kind of
fall
a
into
learning
it.
curve, and we didn't
Yeah.
have much time. But
Yeah.
it's open world, and it gives you a chance to kind of do stuff over and over again and practice.
No loading screens.
Yeah, you're not constantly like against the clock and rushing through a story mission, so that just changes the vibe of the game a lot. It feels more like a big skate park you can practice in, which is how I always wanted the first Mirror's Edge. So yeah, I think I don't know about the story stuff. It could be dumb and heavy-handed, but like the game itself seems good.
So somebody wants to know. So this is more general, not really E3 question, more just gaming stuff. Somebody wants to know. Well, their opinion is that Nintendo is so different a company and has so different views than Microsoft and Sony that you couldn't possibly compare I guess Wii and Wii U to Sony and Microsoft.
Well, that's why the
consoles.
concept of winning E3 is silly,
Right.
because you're talking about incredibly different companies to have incredibly different goals and do them go about that a very different way. Like it just
There's some like saying or philosophy that you should never judge yourself against others, but only of your previous worst self or something.
Yeah, well, that's
It's
good.
the
You
same
can
thing.
look at
Yeah, you can judge Nintendo against previous Nintendo and
Right.
Sony against previous Nintendo and so on.
against previous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to previous Nintendo, this was a pretty light, disappointing
Yeah,
digital conference.
they were missing that central thing.
They didn't have many big surprises.
So we were just talking about this the other day. I heard that Kanye was disappointed in Nintendo's this year.
But
so
he
I
liked
suppose
Uncharted.
he agreed. I guess
He
you
liked
guys have that in
Uncharted.
yeah. You liked Uncharted 4. So somebody wants to know if this is a camo rug behind us. It kind of is, right?
Yeah,
It's like
It's like
Oh, it
like
is.
the stuff you hang over,
It is.
Yeah,
like,
it kind of is.
over your operations station.
so. If we were in Hitman right now, we could use this.
Yeah, you could blend in.
Oh, I
Yeah.
also saw Deus Ex, which is really
Oh yeah,
cool.
people wanted to know about Deus Ex.
Well, so the demo I saw is actually on YouTube, so you can just find it. Just search for Deus
Yeah,
Ex.
but we
Band
want to know your
United.
opinion.
It's really cool. It looks really cool. It looks like they added a bunch of stuff to what Deus Ex was. I mean, the 2011 Deus Ex game was great. It was really good, and it seems like they're just like going on with what they learned there and adding new stuff. And like they talked about making levels very vertical, and they talked about obviously the bosses will be better this time around.
Yeah, I bet even as like the original one had a lot of good stuff, it also had a lot of things that could be very easily improved.
Like
yeah.
bosses.
And they seem very aware of all the things.
Oh yeah, they're very aware.
Let's
and
talk about the smells of E3.
The
It smells like farts all of E3.
Does it?
I think
I
that
smelled French fries a couple times because people like
because
bringing
people
in.
ate French fries and farted
something
out
I've
French
noticed.
fries.
Something I've noticed, and this might be a little bit borderline racist, but something I've noticed is that European press don't like deodorant. Just in general, I mean,
I
it
wanna
might not
zoom
be
in on
all.
Kirk
It's not
shaking
all.
his head
It's
right
not
now.
all European
Yeah,
press.
throwing his
I didn't
hands
say
up.
that.
It's not all European press, not at all. I know some European press who are lovely people, but in general, like when I'm sitting
Someone
next
just
to
put a
someone,
bunch of emojis that are crying.
yeah, I'm sorry to all the European folks out there, but it's just a trend that I've noticed. I mean, some American, don't get me wrong, some American press also smell terrible and just like don't shower ever or put on deodorant. But a trend that I've noticed is that like
This is a bad E3 trend, is what you're saying.
It is. It really is. Every single year. Every single year.
You just needed a moment to think about it.
Man. Oh, and remember that dude? So we were sitting in the press room trying to get some work done, and the student next to us was editing video without headphones on, so he kept looping the same audio clip over and over again.
It was intense.
It was like
put all your eggs in
put
one
all your
basket.
eggs in one basket.
Did you
All your
put-
eggs
did
in
you-
one basket.
did you put
All your eggs in one basket. And he kept doing that, and he was so like he was sitting there like
Just like
he
really
didn't even realize, he
emotionlessly-
wasn't even thinking about how
He's
he
just
was
in robot
around
mode.
other people.
and like blasting this really
And I think that's a very like E3 thing. Something you see a lot is people not thinking like, "Hey, I'm around other people. I should be kind of cognizant of that and respectful of what other people want." And,
Well, that kind of happens
like,
when you put up like thousands of people into one fairly cramped.
There's
Yeah,
always like
but
a
it's-
call for considerate.
Oh,
being
yeah.
considerate.
PAX is worse.
Consideration is a nice thing.
I'm gonna have to do it. I think I gotta go back.
Okay,
I got
everybody
an
say
airport
goodbye to
go
Kirk.
to.
He's got to go to the airport and go back to Portland.
Yeah,
Yep.
go do your thing.
Bye, Kirk.
We should wrap
Bye,
this
everybody.
up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
So any
final
last
thoughts?
questions for us?
Really good
Jason
E3.
and I are here for just a
Really good
moment
E3.
more.
This fall just got suddenly really awesome. You have your key, right?
Someone says, "Bye, Kirk. You're not fat." I don't know what that means,
Well, that's nice to hear.
but I've never thought you were fat. If that helps.
Yeah, really good E3. A lot of good stuff. This fall is suddenly packed with awesome games. Like Fallout 4 is going to take over our lives. Lots of cool JRPGs this year, which is
really
awesome to
exciting for
see.
you.
Really exciting for Jason Schreier
Yeah.
and people like him.
Somebody wants to know, you played Battlefront with me a little bit. You
I
played
did.
co-op with me.
I did.
I played multiplayer. Somebody wants to know, I guess a lot of like other journalists and bloggers have been talking about Battlefront being a reskinned Battlefield.
It
which
is. It's like Battlefield.
In many, I mean, it is like Battlefield, but it's like, I guess if you're talking about that skin being like sound effects and visuals of
Right.
Star Wars references,
Right.
maybe. But I mean, it felt cool, and I've never experienced like that trench feel necessarily from like recent Battlefield games. So I don't know. I guess in a sense, it's
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where like, who knows until we actually play
I mean,
the
we
final
played
game
what,
and
like
see what
maybe
it's like.
30 minutes total
Yeah,
maximum.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think judging games based on E3 demos is like
It's
judging
difficult.
movies based
Yeah.
on trailers. Like it can be done, and maybe you can get a sense of the tone, but like you really don't know until you're actually sitting there for a few hours and getting some serious time with the game.
Thank you guys for people that are saying that they appreciate the periscopes and stuff. Like it feels like they've been at E3. I'm glad.
Cool! Yeah, I'm glad you guys
I'm
enjoyed
really glad.
it. It was fun.
It's been fun to like bring you
We've
guys
been
in my
experimenting.
pocket.
We should
essentially.
do the same
For
sort of thing at PAX.
Yeah, for sure. At PAX will do the same. Although PAX is a little different because people can actually go, but
Right.
I'm sure a lot of
Well,
people
no,
like,
some
have
people can't go. I mean,
obligations
tickets
and,
get sold out so fast that
That's
a lot
true,
of people
yeah,
wanting
that's
to
true.
go.
Yeah, within like an hour, tickets get sold out for
An
PAX.
hour? No, within 10 minutes tickets get sold out. No, seriously.
I know, it's insane.
It takes about 10 minutes for
That's
all
why
the
they keep adding
3-day
new
passes.
PAXs, but like PAX Australia and PAX
But it
South.
doesn't really, I mean, everyone knows that PAX South does not compare to like PAX or PAX East.
Yeah.
Those are the two big ones.
And it doesn't compare in size to E3.
So do you guys want to know anything else? We should start wrapping this up, but do you guys want to know anything else
See,
before we go?
see, Jason's coffee is done, and that's how he knows.
That's the sign.
Somebody said favorite indie game.
Favorite
I just
indie
got a
game.
bunch of chats at once, so I think this might be a little slow, the stream.
I didn't have time to see a lot of indie games, unfortunately. That might be a
Yeah,
Steven or
same
Evan
here.
question.
The new controller, I assume you're talking about the Xbox Elite controller, is 150.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it, but they want to know the price.
150.
People want to know about Batman. Actually,
Batman comes out next week.
It comes out soon, but
and
I
our
think they
review
wanna
will be on the
know,
site today, won't it? The
it might be
review-
on Monday.
Oh,
our
okay. So our review will be up.
Yeah. Horizon, Final Fantasy VII Remake, thoughts? Horizon looks really
Horizon
cool.
looks
You
really
checked
cool.
it out,
I
right?
saw a demo of Horizon.
Yeah,
It looks
did you
really
play it?
awesome. It was the whole 10-second stage, so I
Right.
didn't really. It's not
How
really-
long was it actually? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, so the demo I saw was actually very similar to the demo that you guys saw at E3.
You mean the one that you played or that you saw?
I didn't play. Play means pick up the controller just to prove that it's real. So it's not actually playing anything.
Right.
But the one that I saw, which is the same thing, it's like a behind closed door session with a bunch of journalists. We all sit in a theater and watch it. It's essentially the same thing as the E3 demo, except they like did things a little bit differently to prove that it was a live demo.
Right.
They didn't pre-record.
So the bare minimum.
Yeah. But it looks really cool. It's clearly very early. It's going to be out next year.
Somebody wants to know if Kingdom Hearts 3 is ever going to release.
That's a good question, because in 2013, when they first announced it, they said, it said at the end of the trailer, now in development. 2015, they released another trailer, the second trailer ever. At the end it says, now in development. So this is a game that's probably never coming out.
Somebody said it's the new Last Guardian.
It's the new Final Fantasy Versus 13, because those of you who might not be super familiar with this stuff, Tetsuya Nomura, the director of Versus 13, is pretty much the reason why that game has never come out. And then when it was turned to 15, it got a new director, Hajime Tabata, who is now in charge of that and like hopefully getting it out the door. He got the demo out earlier this year, but now Nomura has been running Kingdom Hearts 3 for the past couple of years, and who knows what's actually happening there and if it'll ever come out. It's kind of ridiculous that 2 years after it was announced at Sony's E3 of 2013, we still haven't seen more or even a demo. Like, it's pretty silly that we've only seen 2 trailers. I mean, maybe they'll talk about it more at TGS or something like that. But
cool. Okay.
Any other final questions?
If you guys want to email more questions, sure thing. But yeah, we should wrap it up, right?
Cool.
Yeah,
because
Jason doesn't have. Bye guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for watching. Yes, Miyazaki is directing Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad that you've been enjoying it. Yeah.
Tuna, good day, good work, good day.
Bye guys.
Thank you for the hearts.